Like, oh my god, all this time you're like talking. You didn't even show us the floors. What if you didn't do it? No, I did do it, man. I did do it. What's up, guys? This is Astranox. This is my 5th account. It's a free-to-play account like all 5 of my accounts. It is only 17 days old. And I've cleared from floor 1 in the Abyss up to floor 90 in the Abyss. As a free-to-play player, in 17 days, I can drop that down if I really wanted to 14 days. I think 2 weeks I could have done it if I really wanted to. I didn't use any limited hero. I'm wearing a lot of free gear. Almost 100% auto. I've autoed the floors. Like, do you know how annoying Abyss is? Well, I really hate Abyss. That's why this is so awesome. I was able to auto almost everything. I'm not using Tamarine. I'm not using poison debuffs. I'm not using Caides, to cheese floors. I've used one Daydream Joker at like plus 15. So one Daydream Joker. Sometime I've used 2 Daydream Jokers. But, on the whole account, I got 3 Daydream Joker total, right? So, like, that's really good news for a lot of players. I've only used 8 heroes. Only 8 heroes, and you can drop that down to 6 heroes. That's another good news. Now, let me break this down for you guys. Let me show you guys my stats, my gear. How did I proceed through the annoying floors? So I'm in Master here, the 5th account in my guild, Novastra. This is a farming guild. We're full right now. Okay, let me just show you here. I still have a lot of free sky stones. I'm progressing in episode 3. I've been farming Banshee since day number 7. This is a Banshee account. This is really different than what I've done in the past and what most players have been doing. That's pretty crazy. Day number, what was it? 6, I've cleared episode 2. Day 4, I had Banshee 11 and Azmanak Hunt 11 on farm. Yeah, like a lot of progress that I've done. I've talked about that. I've gave you guys a lot of tips, been guiding you to progress the way I've been progressing in my videos before. I have multiple videos out. It's like 5 or 6 of them already. You can go and check them out to see how I've been progressing. Selective summon was Charlotte. Charlotte is amazing and she's staple. She can be used literally everywhere beside like Banshee. I actually was farming Banshee up to stage, 12 with Charlotte as a fire hero. She is so busted. So yeah, I haven't even been farming Banshee that much. That's another good news. I've just been progressing in the story. That's why I have so many sky stones and I was able to get a lot of free gear that way. So let me show you guys these things and let me talk about these annoying floors. So Charlotte, I'll just be showing you guys some gear as I'm talking about other stuff. I have skill ups. The big thing is that I worked on a core of heroes and I've skilled them up. And I did put all my resources into a small core of heroes that I believed would be able to, deal with PvE content. But the best part is that this account is about PvP. So I've built heroes that are going to be strong in PvP, so I wouldn't be wasting my resources for PvE content, which is very easy to handle. When you know what you're doing, when you have the knowledge, you can use heroes that will work for PvP anyways. But these heroes are so busted that like they are so strong in PvE content. It's just that Charlotte, you're not going to be using her in a Wyvern 13. If you're going for like a speed team, you want to be farming Wyvern speed, crit set, and hit set, then, that's not the way to go. But still, Charlotte is so strong. Okay, so her skill, she always attacks everything. That's the thing. Like, she has a buff. She can self-buff herself with attack buff and defense buff. She attacks always everything. So that is so much damage that you're able to do. Now, I've been running her on Daydream Joker. I have it at plus 18. So that's my main Daydream Joker. You could have done that with a plus 15 one. So you just need 1 copy of it. So imagine if, let's say, you have these heroes, or the heroes I'm going to be talking about, like the 6 heroes that I'll talk about, that you could pull off some like this. And a lot of these heroes are free to play heroes. So Charlotte always attacking everything. That's like a seaside Bellona, right? She's a fire version. So that's cool. And she also gets, defense buff if she gets attack buff, unhealable debuff, on an AoE attack. And she's got attack break on skill 1 when she attacks everything. So attack break is huge because you're cutting their attack in half. So in turn, you're taking a lot less damage from the enemy. Now I have her on a lifesteal and immunity set, so you don't even need immunity for the Abyss, right? Like these pieces of gear, that's like some of the best gear that I got, and I'm still running some free gear on her, like the necklace right here. And to be honest, like this is from the Abyss, like not even optimal. Like you can drop all the crit chance on Charlotte because she always does critical hit. That's the great thing about it. Like this is not even itemized properly. Like Charlotte has so much more potential than what I have her at now. Her exclusive equipment allows her to remove all debuffs from herself, some free health as well from it, even actually the lowest roll for health. So lifesteal on her, very powerful because you don't have to worry too much about sustaining Charlotte because you're going to be dealing damage based on the target's max health, and the monsters in the Abyss and the bosses, they have a lot of health, so she's going to be dealing extra damage because of Daydream Joker. Now, there's the stage with Dark Corvus, which you cannot use, damage that is based on the target's max health, Daydream Joker, or a skill like a Bellona or something like that. It will not work. And some boss, I think you cannot even use poison because like they're going to have immunity. Maybe some boss are immune to poison, or they're just going to cleanse all the time, or they're going to be healing if they have a debuff. Like there's a lot of stuff like in the Abyss that's really annoying. I'm just going to share with you what worked for me. So the hero that I've used, Charlotte was staple in every floor that I've done. Charlotte was there. She's my go-to girl, right? Now, who else did I use? Well, you can get a Moonlight 5-star hero in the game, right? So Ruel of Light, like I felt like Ruel of Light would have been perfect for this account, which is only 17 days old. Ruel of Light, like so strong, and I can use her in PvP, I can use her in PvE. Abyss, man, like you bring her in there, if someone goes down, she's got the revive, she's busted, like bring them back to full life with invincibility. Remove debuffs too, with that thing. Removes debuffs before healing with the skill 3, with the skill 2 as well. I'm missing skill ups. She's part of my core. I need to work on her skill ups, right? And her skill 1 actually deals some pretty good damage. That's for PvP for later. So it's worth skilling up when I get to that, but not useful for PvE anyways. So yeah, that's my stats on her. You can see, free gear. Free gear, look at that. Running free gear on her. Like, as long as she stays alive, right? And look that crappy ring I'm wearing on her. This thing's terrible. At least I'm getting the health set HP increase. Free gear on this Water's Origin, which is not even maxed, not even at plus 15. Like, that goes to show you like what I've been running. Now, I've been running Ray because I was fortunate enough to actually pull him. He's a 5-star hero, but you can replace Ray with Angelic Montmorency, specialty change of Montmorency. Montmorency, actually, what I like about her is that she's got stronger healing. Overall, through the turns that she's going to go, like, she's healing a lot. She has a lot of heal per turn, basically, much more than Ray. And her soul burn is extremely powerful. If you're struggling in a stage, you don't have to auto like me because I'm crazy, right? You can just, like, manual some stuff. So there's that, right? Like, there's... like, you're good with a free-to-play hero like Angelic Montmorency. That's my stats, that's my gear. Free gear. Free gear. You can grind Conquest Point. At the start, you have 2 weeks as the new player buffs. You're getting 100% more Conquest Points. So you can go pretty hard on that, And you can buy free gear from the Conquest Point shop. And there's a discount. The older the set are, the more discount they're giving you. This is a free ring. That's the only piece of gear that is not free. And look at these stats. Like, I don't need nothing. Like, I just need the health percentage and the defense percentage and the speed. Effectiveness is wasted. The attack is wasted. Not even reforged because it's such a bad pair of boots. I didn't do that. Prophetic Candlestick, very good because it makes it so you can get your skills ready faster, right? So yeah, now he has team-wide, removal of debuffs and then like healing. And immunity. Like, that's strong. That's very strong. Angelic Montmorency, she can do something like that by soul burning her skill number 3. She's going to be healing more than a hero like Ray. Like, look how crazy it is. Like, how badly they want me to use Ray. They gave me 2 extra rays when I was spamming Covenant summons with all the bookmarks that I got for, you know, for free by progressing, and like that's crazy. Like, how did I even manage to get 3 rays? There's a lot of tickets, 4 to 5 star hero pool or a 5-star summon from like events and stuff. But yeah, you get a lot of potential summons when you start, you know, a new account now, and a lot of free gear. So next hero is well, let me, okay, so I was running double soul weavers in a lot of stages, right? Like Ruel of Light plus Ray, so you can be running Ruel of Light plus Angelic Montmorency, or you could be running, instead of Ruel of Light, you could be running like Angelica and then Angelic Montmorency, so double soul weavers. So that's quite important because it will allow you to have enough sustain. Maybe one of your you know, heroes disabled, one of your hero can't keep up with how much healing you need to do. Sometimes, you know, the boss uses the skill 3, it's a lot of big burst damage, something like that. Now, a big takeaway is that you can survive most of the stuff. You can survive almost everything by just pumping more health on your heroes. Look at that. My Charlotte has not even 12,000 health, but she's on life steal, so like she's able to sustain herself. But like Mercenary Helga, free gear, look at that. The stats are so bad, right? But she has 13.6 thousand HP. Let's say Charles, he's got almost 14,000 health. Falconer Kluri, you know, over 20,000 on Aureus, so it helps to boost the survivability of the team, damage resurrection to her. And Ray, you see he's at, you know, good survivability on your heroes. You don't want to go down easy. So if you have more health, more defense, that means that you don't have to put so much stress on, you know, your soul weaver or soul weavers. Some stages I've been running with one healer, one soul weaver, like only Ray, let's say, or you could be running Ruel, you could be running like Angelic Montmorency or Angelica. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Also, Angelica, you can soul burn her skill 3 for the longer duration, and then you can keep the immunity on your whole team constantly. And that's one way to do a lot of stages in the Abyss if you cannot pull it off on auto. So, Mercenary Helga. Now, this hero is crazy good because she's got defense break on skill 1, on skill 2. She's got attack buff. She's got effectiveness buff, which is huge because you don't need to actually build that much effectiveness across your whole team. So you save a lot of stats right there. So the artifact, I mean, you can just put Daydream Joker on her. This is like for when I run Banshee. But yeah, Daydream Joker will boost your damage because it's dealing damage based on the target's max health. You got defense break on the target. That's 70% of their defense gone. So you're scaling the damage of Daydream Joker, which is damage based on the target's max health. So it's really good to speed things up. But a lot of stages, I didn't even run defense break. I didn't even run Mercenary Helga because like I would just do it. It just takes time. You just let it run on auto, and let's say you pay attention for a second, you're just popping the Guardian because who wants to stay in there for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes when you could stay in there in like half the time if you're pressing the Guardian, just using your souls, right? So yeah, like auto, but sometimes, you know, you can do things to speed things up. So yeah, Mercenary Helga, you can see the stats is really bad. The gear is free stuff, like free gear. Like that's so good. That's so good that you're able to pull something like that. Now Charles, you know, like he's part of my core. He's got the skill ups, right? Like Charles, you don't even need him because Mercenary Helga has the attack buff already. She's got the defense break, which is way more powerful. Like I would take defense break any time over attack buff because it's scaling the damage of Daydream Joker. And that means like you're dealing way more damage in the end because of that. So yeah, not having attack buff is not a big deal. But if you build Helga into Mercenary Helga, you got both of them. Defense break and you got attack buff. So you're dealing a lot more damage. So you can see like the gear is quite underwhelming. Nothing crazy at all. And the exclusive equipment is the one that removed debuffs from himself before he uses the skill number 3. But you don't need that stuff. You don't even need Charles. That's the good thing about it. Like he can dispel all buffs from the target, right? But you don't even need that. Look at the effectiveness that I have on my Charles. 19. It's not even reliable to remove buffs from the targets in the Abyss with Charles. Now that's where Kluri comes in. I didn't even use Kluri that much, but to be honest, like you can do most of the floors by using Kluri. It's gonna take longer, but if you have Helga, you got defense break, you got attack buff, and it's great. But if you need that strip, if you need to remove a buff or buffs from the target, from the boss, then Kluri is going to be great, and she's going to be boosting the survivability of your team because she can wear Aureus, right? If you don't have Aureus, you could be wearing like another artifact, maybe Helag Lance. Even you could build like with some crit chance and crit damage on Kluri and use Daydream Joker on her. Like you could cheese it like that, and you don't even need that much survivability on her. Like the health and defense that she has is overkill. Like she could be doing it with probably like not even 18,000 health, some defense, and especially if she's not running Aureus, that's where you need more health, is when you have damage sharing. But if she's running like, let's say, Daydream Joker, yeah, you can build crit damage on her. You don't need to have 100%, of each, but it's gonna allow you to speed things up. And when you need that extra damage, that's great. So you can see the gear, free gear. This weapon is not that good, but the speed was nice with the health and effectiveness. Don't need the crit chance, really, for the way I've been using her. The gear that she has on is actually pretty decent because I had that on my Crimson Armin, setting her up for PvP. I'm gonna move that to Troublemaker Crozet, but that gear, she don't need counter set and health set. Like she could be running triple health set. You just need to have some effectiveness on her. The effectiveness, maybe like 50% is gonna be fine for the Abyss. Now, Kluri, you don't need to bring her all the time. You can be running Mercenary Helga most of the time, but if you really need that strip, the removal of buff from the target, then, Kluri is great, and she can provoke. So maybe you're working on you need to provoke that ad because it's annoying. Not even the boss, that ad is healing or something like that. That's great. I'll talk about the floors in a second here. Let's keep on going. So I talked about, the core is Charlotte. Helga's huge. Kluri is huge for a stage where you need the extra survivability. Maybe you do have an Aureus, that would be a reason to push you toward building a Kluri, a Falconer Kluri. And you can see here my skill tree. It's not even maxed out. This is my build, guys. You don't need this one right here. That's the last one I invested into. I'm going to work on plus 30 for her, but I was at plus 15 when I was using her, right? And what else was I using? Like Helga. Helga, I don't even remember what I have on her. That's my build. So if you want to like replicate something like this, I felt like this was better, and the other ones, they're optional. I don't need them. And I use Helga for Banshee, like such a good hero since she was buffed. Very, very powerful. So what else do we have? Okay, General Purrgis, I brought in some floors. You don't need General Purrgis. I have him built, for PvP. I've been using him in Adventure to push the story. I have him on my defense in Arena. I bring him in Arena offense. Like, General Purrgis is such a good hero, right? And I built him for damage. He's a bruiser. You can see, like, high crit damage, high health. He doesn't need speed because, I mean, yeah, he's slow. You don't need speed. So that's my gear. Like, it's really solid. Like, some of these Ps are quite solid. I mean, 17 days in, right? Like, that's pretty busted what I'm able to, like, muster, what I was able to get in that time. You need some bulk. So I put Sepulchrum on him, but you can have Daydream Joker on him, which I was running in some floors to speed things up, right? With that crit damage, it's scaling the damage of Daydream Joker. So why not, right? So I decided to put, of course, Daydream Joker on him, but if you need the bulk, you can be running Sepulchrum, especially if you're not running Aureus and you feel like he's taking a beating. I put him in the front, so more chance that the enemy attacks him. That's great here, CR push for your team. So if you do have General Purrgis, you can bring him in the Abyss. He helps, but you don't need him. That's the thing. So yeah, I mean, solid kit. You got a tag buff from his kit, provoke. But, the biggest thing is the combat readiness, pushing right there. And you can scale it up to 18% with the skill ups and the exclusive equipment. So yeah, but you can run Mercenary Helga and get the attack buff. So you don't need General Purrgis for attack buff. You don't need Charles for attack buff. You get Mercenary Helga. So there's that. Now, Rule of Light, I've shown the gear already. Now, this is the artifact. If you, let's say, you're not running Kluri, who to put in the front, you can put Rule of Light with like Water's Origin, or you could be putting your Soul Weaver. Let's say my Ray, I could put him in the front, which I've done for some stages. With Prophetic Candlestick, lowering his cooldowns by 1 turn. That's great. That's just 1 copy at plus 15. Like, it's not even a big investment. Now, Lorena, where did I use her? I've used her in 1 stage on Daydream Joker. That was her stats right there. Free gear on her. And the reason I used her was for floor 62 versus Says. Because when you drop a debuff on him, he will be healing himself. So what you can do is that you don't even need to build Lorena for floor 62. The thing is, what you can do is just run Soul Weavers and Knights. Don't have any debuff, but just tank it. Run like triple Soul Weaver with a Knight. You could be running like Falconer Kluri with her skills turned off, and then you can be running 3 Soul Weaver like Montmorency, Angelica, and like another one, right? And what that allows you to do is that you're gonna stay alive, and you're just gonna be popping the Guardian all the time. Whenever you have the the 30 souls with the Archie, I use the first one, Arcasis, and you just cheese it like that. A lot of floors you can actually do like that. Just use the Guardian and stay alive by spamming heal on your team and having enough health and defense. Aureus that does help on a Knight. You can go like double Soul Weaver, double Knight. Just make sure you don't land any debuff. That is for floor 62. So that's the heroes that I've used. Like you can see that I don't have many heroes built. Like I've built these heroes for PvP. Helga is not for PvP, of course. Kluri can be used in PvP. Who else cannot be used? Like Lorena cannot be used in PvP, but in Guild War offense you could bring her. Elena for PvP, not even using her yet. Crozet not even built. So yeah, you can see my roster is very small. Okay, let me just show you guys my stats, and I'll keep talking about what I've been doing. So like I said, Charlotte has been in every stage. It will have to do with what element that you're fighting. Let's just go over real quick here, because we got skeptics in the community. Maybe they haven't been following my progress videos. I've done many of them. They're like, oh my god, you top or something. I've been running. You can check my previous videos. I've always had a lot of Sky Stones. Always had a lot of those Sky Stones. I haven't even farmed that much Banshee. That's the great thing about it. Like, I've been pushing the story, farming adventure on recorded history so much. Like, so much. To make these 6 stars, it takes a lot of, fodders, like 2-star monsters. And to power my gear up to plus 15, I mean, it takes a lot of, like, the gray, the white, and green pieces of gear that you get from adventure on recorded history, the epilogue, like, you need so many of them. All the item level 51 and under gray, white, green, I just fed into my gear. Like, you can just see my plus 15 stuff, right? Like, it's not that many, but for how many days I've been playing, it is a lot. It definitely is a lot. So yeah, it does require so many adventure runs. So I'm going to be showing you guys my reputation. So you can see my statistics. You can compare to yourself. You can see how much farming did I do to get to that point. Now, I could have dropped that to 15 days, or 14 days. 2 weeks, I could have done the Abyss. I mean, I haven't even shown it. So you can see here, floor 91 that I'm at now, right? Just show it. I mean, like, oh my god, all this time you're like talking. You didn't even show us the floors. What if you didn't do it? No, I did do it, man. I did do it. Like so many rewards. You get so many Sky Stones, you get free gear, lifesteal gear. I could have pushed higher floors, guys, on that day. You know what happened? There's 2 days that I press Purify. That stupid Purify button, because I have 5 accounts, right? So like every account, I'm like Purify. And I'm like, oh my god, just press Purify on this account where I need to progress in the Abyss. Like, god, like that is 6 entries right there that I wasted. Sometimes I didn't even... because not every day I actually did that, but you can go in the normal shop here and buy this. You can buy 2 entries for 1 leaf. It is so worth it if you're trying to push like ASAP on a new account. Not even every day that I've done that. So I could have pushed maybe to floor 100 plus already if I didn't mess up my 2 days with Purify. Maybe I did that more than 2 days so far. And then like, yeah, and if I bought those every day, like I could have pushed higher. Right? Like there's so many like juicy rewards in there. So let's move on to the reputation before I talk about these like floors, like how brutal some of them are and how I was able to do it on auto and things like that, right? So that's my stats right here. You can see that the amount of days that I've logged in is not 17, it's 18. The reason why is that I made my account just before it became a new day, and now it is day 18, right? Like, it's day 18. It's not even, the day is not even completed, right? Like, that's the thing. It's, in my mind, it's 17 days because every time I had the new player buff and I was checking my reputation, I was always plus 1 day because I started just before a new day, like an hour or a few hours before. So that's the reason why. So yeah, it is 17 days, and to be honest, I could definitely have done that in 2 weeks. Definitely. And that was not even the goal of the account. Like the beautiful thing is that the goal of the account is to see if I can be competitive in PvP on a brand new account with a different mindset, a different play style than what I usually go for, because I know that there's so much potential and like how strong Bruiser playstyle is, how valuable counter set, lifesteal set. You know, you tank it up, you don't worry about speed because speed is like definitely the hardest thing to get on your gear, and it's so annoying to roll for speed. I mean, I'm a day one player. I got 5 accounts now, and I've been farming Wyvern on my free-to-play accounts since the game got released. Or since I made the account, because I didn't make all of them like when the game got released. But yeah, I mean, like it's good, like you can progress and everything, but in PvP, man, cleaving, speed cleave, speed burst, like it's really rough. Like if you're not a day one player, if you're not a whale, you spend thousands of dollars, it's not gonna work out for you. It's gonna be brutal. If you're starting the game now, going for farming Banshee is the way to go, in my opinion. Like in my humble opinion, that's definitely the way to go. You can still play Bruiser playstyle and farm Wyvern, go with speed, right? Go with speed, go with, well, the crit set and hit set are not going to help you that much. You're going to need some immunity. But yeah, this is about the Abyss. I'm just showing you guys my stats real quick. Now, for the floors, okay, there's the Dark Corvus floor. I believe it's floor 86 or 85. Now, that is a really hard floor because you cannot deal damage based on the target's maximum health. And the issue is that that's it. Like you cannot use Daydream Joker. You cannot use a hero like that deals damage based on the target's max health, like Bellona, like Soul Bad Guy. So yeah, I didn't use any limited hero, which does facilitate your life a lot if you do it like that. Now, Daydream Joker is a big part of speeding things up. You don't need Daydream Joker per se in a lot of those floors. That's the thing. You could be using the Guardian, right? It's just that it's gonna take longer. You have to build the souls, use the Guardian, and the Guardian deals damage based on the target's maximum health. It also deals damage based on your team attack, and Arcasis Archie is the better one. Where is that stuff? If I go in team, you can see it here. Okay, so Arcasis only requires 30 souls. You see the 3, soul bubbles or whatever. And then you got Xeon. You can get defense break from him, but that is double the souls that you need to pop him. And the thing is, the defense break is with 0 effectiveness. So it's not like he's got effectiveness. Landing that defense break is very hard. It's not good. And if you're trying to get as much damage per soul as possible, Arcasis is your best bet. That is the way to go. Now, Chrome Cruise is pretty strong because he requires 50 souls, but the good thing about this one is that it decreases skill cooldown by 2 turns. So if you're going to be using a hero like Kairos, the 3-star Earth Ranger that extend duration of debuffs on the target, or targets, it's actually, yeah, she's got poison in her kit, and that's an AoE attack, so she extends the duration of debuffs of all targets. So she's very good in the Abyss, and you can definitely build her to help you out. But there's some floors where it's not going to work. You cannot cheese it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of players used Kairos before, myself included, way back in the days. So yeah, Chrome Cruise comes in because he decreases skill cooldown by 2 turns. So that means you're going to be able to cycle like your Kairos, your heroes faster. You're going to be able to get your skill 3, your skill 2 again. And that could be invaluable because you're trying to sustain your team, trying to heal your team, trying to remove debuffs, apply immunity or something like that, or have a higher uptime on defense break debuff, attack break debuff. This Guardian could be invaluable. He is for manual play, right? So keep that in mind. You could have the battle go on auto and you just pop the Guardian whenever you have the souls. You pay attention 2 seconds and you go back to doing whatever you're doing and you let it run on auto. So yeah, Chrome Cruise can come in handy for that. It could speed up the run actually. It really depends on your gear level. I would say that Chrome Cruise is going to be stronger for you if you have more gear than what I'm running, let's say, and if you rely more on your cooldowns. So yeah, there is that. And if you want to be running on semi-auto, like you're on auto and just popping the Guardian, actually, yeah, Chrome Cruise could be good because that would mean a higher uptime on your immunity without having to use the soul burn of the hero. So yeah, thinking about it, that's pretty good. And yeah, I mean, a higher attack buff uptime, which is not that big of a deal the deeper you get in the Abyss because they will have more health and it will be about landing defense break. Or you don't even need defense break, but you're going to be scaling your Daydream Joker damage. So it will be about, you know, landing defense break to deal more damage faster. Now, let's talk about the floors. So the floors, right? There, did I go through all my notes? So yeah, just to recap, right? 17 days old free-to-play account, guys. No limited hero, wearing a lot of free gear. Almost 100% auto on the floors from 1 to 90. No Tamarine, triggering dual attack, and her kit is very powerful, but I didn't run Tamarine. No poison debuff. A lot of cheese can be done with poison debuff. It's dealing 5% of the target's max health. Every time it ticks, you're putting a poison for 2 turns, that's 10% of them, of their health, right? And they have like so much health, almost 1 million or whatever. No Kyrus, you know, to extend debuff duration. I was running with 1 to 2 Daydream Joker, not even maxed out, only plus 15, plus 18, like very little investment there. I've used 8 heroes: Charlotte, Ruel of Light, Ray, could be Angelic Momentary instead of Ray, Mercenary Helga, Falconer Kluri, Charles, General Purrgis, and Commander Lorena. Now you can drop that to 6 heroes like I talked about. 6 heroes could be Charlotte, because she's that good. She attacks everything. She's got a tag break on skill 1. You don't, if you have her on lifesteal, you don't have to worry about, you know, healing her, keeping her alive. You could be running the lifesteal set that you get for free from the Abyss. You might have to reforge maybe the crit chance to crit damage, but I don't want to do that because I want to keep the crit chance for another hero, put that lifesteal set on someone else later, because that's not optimal for Charlotte. But you could pull that off. That's the thing. You could just use the free lifesteal gear, you know, the best 4 pieces, and put 2 pieces of like something else. So, you know, a health set, whatever, you know, to boost her survivability. So yeah, you could be running the 6 heroes that would work to me would be Charlotte, Angelique Montmorency, Mercenary Helga, Falconer Kluri, Commander Lorena, and Ruel of Light. Like, you can get that, all these heroes for free. Selective Summon Charlotte and Ruel of Light from the you know, 5-star Moonlight hero that you can select. Now, Ruel of Light could be replaced with like Angelica. But if you don't have Ruel of Light, that means you have another Moonlight 5-star hero. Let's say you have a Spectre Tenebria. Like, this could be the hero instead of Charlotte. You know what I mean? Like, you got Poison on Spectre Tenebria, which will speed things up. And you can have the Daydream Joker on her. And that's going to be your core damage dealer. And she's dark, so you don't have to worry about the ice floors, which I didn't even worry about. The great thing is that Charlotte even dealt with ice floors, right? Even ice floors. So, floor 90. Let's go back in there. I mean, not go back, but let me just tell you what I've done. Okay, this floor is easy to deal with. I mean, you run that on auto. What do you need to worry about is, to be honest, okay, one thing you need to worry about is Aether. There is 3 ads with Tenebria. Aether is the top one, and then you got Mercedes in the middle, and then you got under, you got Ras. Now, Aether, if you run this on auto and you don't target Aether, you will have her heal them, and by this during that time, Tenebria is invulnerable. She cannot take any damage. So you need to deal with these 3 heroes. Charlotte can take down one of them, like one run on auto. Yeah, then Mercedes went down automatically. Then Ras and Aether didn't go down because Aether kept on healing, and she's Aisha. I couldn't deal with her. So that's where Kluri comes in. Kluri can provoke. Kluri can land defense break. Done. Like, Aether goes down, you just press on her while you're running on auto. You get her focused. She goes down, and you can go over the 2 phases of Tenebria. You can sustain the team. It's easy. Like, I didn't have any problem with that floor. Let's move on to... well, the only problem was Aether, that you need to control or, you know, provoke, land defense break so she goes down faster, or use a damage dealer that is Earth. Maybe I could have just brought Mercenary Helga actually on that floor, but, you know, Tenebria is fire, so I didn't want to bring, you know, too many Earth hero in there. So yeah. Now, this floor was annoying, okay? Not gonna lie. The reason why it was annoying is because Rin can heal herself, and whenever the floor 89 you use a non-attack skill, she gets a 50% combat units push. She gets half her turn, and she's able to stack speed buff on her multiple times during the course of the battle. She can have a stack of like 40 speed increase, and she's getting like really fast and getting dangerous, and it's getting bad. So when you're fighting this floor, you know, you've got some tips. You got boss guide, right? You can read this stuff and it can help you out in some floors. You know, maybe you need some more help because you don't have the same heroes. Maybe, I don't know, your gear didn't roll the same as me, which, I mean, to be honest, maybe you have less health. So like, let's say you have 1,000 less health on some of these heroes. It could be a factor. It could be a factor about you surviving. But you have to remember that most of these floors, almost all these floors, to be honest, like I didn't even run Kluri. So that means I didn't even have Aureus. So you could be running Aureus on Kluri, which is 15% damage sharing. So that's like 15% more health on your heroes, right? But you can go with a health percentage main stats ring on your heroes, like craft it or something, and it will boost your survivability a lot. And it's not about dealing damage super fast in the Abyss. It's about staying alive through the boss's mechanics, the encounter's mechanics. So that's the thing. Now, the annoying thing about this floor is that this fire crystal, if it's alive, it will keep on triggering a pulse attack on your whole team. It will deal damage over time. It's not a debuff. It's just happening as long as this crystal has his health all the way up. Like, if you kill the crystal, it will become the green crystal that is alive. And then it's going to be it's like they're rotating between themselves. One is down, one goes up. One is down, one goes up. And Rin keeps on bringing back these crystals, which is really annoying. Now, Charlotte is attacking everything, so it's a no-brainer. She's dealing with taking down that one, and then taking down that one, and dealing damage at them, and dealing damage at Rin, and dealing damage against Araminta. She's doing damage versus everyone, and she has Daydream Joker, so it's cool. I didn't even run... I did not even run Defense Break, I think, on my team. So yeah, that one, you want to save your souls near the end. And when you pop your souls, right? You use Arcasis like 2 times, then you wait, you build up a bit of souls. You use Arcasis again. And then you wait. You build your souls all the way up. And then when the boss is, like, Rin is at like 30% health or near that, you pop the Guardian twice, build the souls a bit, pop the Guardian a 3rd time. She goes down. That's it. You win. You just have to survive through the damage. And to be honest, you can be using non-attack skill to heal yourself. You're going to be able to sustain yourself because you have to sustain yourself. But as the battle drags on, they're dealing more damage. They're getting deadlier. But yeah, I mean, it was an annoying fight. Thankfully, Charlotte was attacking everything, dealing tremendous damage and rotating the crystals. You know, one alive, one down, one alive, one down type of deal. But this one, dealing damage to your whole team means you need some sustain. Like Angelique Montmorency could be great. She would be healing more than Ray in that scenario, actually. So that would be really good. Rual of Light, you know, if something goes bad, maybe Charlotte goes down because she doesn't have that good survivability. If she's on lifesteal with that much offense that I have her on, which she can increase her health anyways, or her defense to not have her go down that much, let's say. But Rual of Light, like, if you don't run Rual of Light, you need to boost the health and defense of your heroes to make sure that you will not go down. So remember that. There's more times where you're gonna need to actually, you know, pay more attention, maybe not auto, and have to, you know, keep the immunity buff on your team with like Angelica Soulburn or Angelique Montmorency Soulburn or something like that. So you might have to be on top of that or time your skills. So the reason why this was so powerful, this team, is that I was able to auto Abyss. You guys know how annoying it is, right? So yeah, let's move on. This floor, I just auto the whole thing. This was auto, and just pop the Guardian to speed things up because I got things to do, you know, like I gotta go farm on that account because I'm trying to progress fast. So I'm not gonna stay in there like 15-20 minutes when I could be in there like 10 minutes because I popped the Guardian instead of not popping the Guardian. So that's what I mean, you know, like it's not 100% auto because, you know, if the later floors, you can definitely speed things up dramatically if you're popping the Guardian. I'm not talking about starting to soul burn your skills of your heroes individually. I'm just talking about press the Guardian while it's running on auto. You can just queue it up, easy peasy. So yeah, this floor, To be honest, like, it was auto. It was auto. And I had Ray in there, which is earth, like, and he's fire. You know, like, no big deal. No big deal. But this is not a guide per floor per se. Like, I'm not trying to make a guide for each of the floors. I'm just giving you guys like some tips, right? Overall in the Abyss, like you can run like a small roster of heroes and they will pull it off. That's cool. That's really cool. Assassin Cartuja, he becomes dangerous. Like there's defense break on that battle, and he starts to hit pretty hard, especially if you got a hero that's defense broken. So you might want to like stay on top of cleansing or at least putting debuff, immunity buff on your team, right? But outside of that, the damage was so high from Charlotte on Daydream Joker. You can, oh, okay, having defense break definitely helps in a lot of these floors, like I talked about, because having defense break, you're shredding 70% of their defense, and they have a lot of defense, some of these monsters. So you shred 70%, and Daydream Joker is doing so much more damage because of that. And if you bring Helga, that's another Daydream Joker holder. So you're running Charlotte plus Helga, double Daydream Joker, you know, that is so much more damage with defense break. You are making the run like twice as fast, sometimes like 3 times as fast. And that stuff can run on auto a lot of times. You don't even have to pop the Guardian. You're going to be full souls the whole battle. But if you pop the Guardian on top of all that, while it's the turn of the Soul Weaver when you don't need healing, let's say, you just time it quick, you save so much time in the Abyss. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy. Okay, so floor 86. What is this? Let's check it out. Like, the rewards on some of the floors are, like, mind-blowing good. It's crazy. Right, like the floor 79 and 80, you get so many gold transmit stones, which I haven't done the summoning yet for. I'll do it in a separate video. This floor, okay. Oh boy, okay, Ken and 2 ml Ken. That was not that bad because I had, if things go haywire, I have Ruel for revive. Did I bring defense break on that floor or did I not bring it? I believe I did bring defense break. Did I? You could bring Kluri in there and it's going to be better. You know why? Because you can land defense break and it's a non-attack skill. And when Ken becomes martial artist Ken, he counter attacks every third or fourth hit that you hit him with. It doesn't have to be a critical hit. So that's damage and it starts to pile up. And if you're able to like land defense break on him with Daydream Joker, he's just going to drop like a fly. Like they both drop so quick. The dangerous part is the phase 2 with the martial artist Ken, right? So you bring down Fire Ken down to 0, then he gets upgraded to martial artist Ken. And you can time the counter attack just whenever it's, I don't know if it's the 3rd or the 4th attack, because I cannot get him up here, right? If I go boss guide, yeah, they will not say. I'm not going to go through the skill, the tooltip. It's way too long. I'm not going to drag this to an hour, hopefully. So Fire Ken and 2 ml Ken. You can time whenever it's like the 3rd or 4th attack. You will check the tooltip and you will know whenever he counter attack. It's either the 3rd, the 4th, maybe it's the 5th. You time it with a hero that is tanky, right? Like maybe you have the option of the Soul Weaver healing, and you know that the next hero, because you can see on the left side who's going next in your roster, which the next hero. Maybe you don't want it to be your damage dealer that lost some health, that is squishier, because you know the counter attack is coming in, right? That's the next attack you hit him with. So maybe the Soul Weaver is going to attack instead of healing to trigger the counter attack instead of your next hero. So yeah, just some tips right there. But all stuff applies, man. Like Daydream Joker with defense break, speed things up. There's a lot of stuff that makes it so much easier. Boosting the survivability of your team, running double Soul Weavers so you don't put that much stress on one. Double Soul Weavers is a great strategy to just like auto everything a lot of times. And having Charlotte attacking everything, speed things up. Now this one's so annoying, right? How did I do this one? I ran this thing on auto. I was actually recording a video. Like I took a pause in the video when I was commenting or I was doing my voiceover, and that like sometimes I just died, right? Like I lost the battle. Now Dark Corvus, I kept on bringing him to like 15% life. And what I was like, you know what? I'll just run it on auto again. I'll run it on auto. So I did that like 5 or 6 times back to back on auto. It took a while, but I ended up getting him to die. I didn't even interact, nothing. It was purely 100% auto. Didn't trigger any dual attack with like a hero like Tamarine. You know, there's ways to make it easier by, you know, triggering dual attacks. Now, the thing about Dark Corvus is you cannot deal damage based on the target maximum health. You can see the last line is unaffected by increase in damage proportional to the maximum health. Now, there's strategies about taking out like one of the crystals, because one of the crystal, you know, all allies become immune to combat units decrease. So there's a strategy of like dealing with this yellow crystal, and then you can combat units manipulate Dark Corvus. You can push him back with CR, combat readiness manipulation. But I don't even do that. I just run this on auto. So what is the biggest thing that you can bring in this battle? Defense break. I mean, defense break boosts your damage by so much, and he's got a lot of defense. So when you reach the Berserk or whatever, the Berserk 10, the Frenzy 10, he's gonna start to one shot. It's a speed race. This is a wall for a lot of players because they don't have enough damage. Build Helga. Mercenary Helga, the specialty change of Helga, will change your life for this battle. She brings attack buff. She brings defense break on 2 skills. She's amazing. She boosts your damage by so much. I've been running free gear, guys. Free gear. This was a wall for me on some of my accounts before they gave so much free gear back in the days. A wall for a lot of players, you know. Free gear. Mercenary Helga, big deal. Instead of Kluri, run Helga. Like, don't run Kluri in there because Kluri is just going to slow things down, right? Just have enough health to survive his attack. And then I was running Ray, not even Ruel of Light. So you can be running Angelic Montmorency, which heals more than Ray. So, yeah. What is another thing that is really annoying with... Okay. Immunity is big. So actually, instead of Angelic Montmorency, Angelica would be better. Why? Because she can have 100% uptime on the skill number 3, immunity, plus the healing. Like, she's great for that battle. She would work great. You can have her. You can soul burn skill 3. You can have her on Prophetic Candlestick in the front, you know, lowering the cooldown of her skill. And she can be using skill 3 and skill 2 constantly, not even using skill 1 during the whole battle, basically. Now, you might need some manual play, but you can probably do that on auto. You don't even need to pop the Guardian because the Guardian deals damage based on the target's max health. So don't even pop the Guardian. You just run this on auto. Angelica in the front, Mercenary Helga, like Charlotte, and a 4th damage dealer that, I don't know, maybe you got a waifu that you like, you decide to build or something like that. It could be any damage dealer. You can bring Commander Lorena in there. Bring Commander Lorena. She actually deals more damage as the battle drags on. She builds attack over time. She's really good. Like floor 62, bring her for Dark Corvus. Actually, it would be easier if I did bring Commander Lorena. It's just I didn't invest fully in her. Let me just show you guys. I literally use her for floor 62 only. That's yeah. But she's really good for Labyrinth, for the, you know, raiding. Let me just show you, like, what do I even have here on her? Look at that. She's +9, guys. She's +9. Like, she's... Oh my god. Like, not even invested in her. Look at that. Not even skill ups. Like, I didn't even take this seriously with Commander Lorena. But you bring her, man. That attack increase builds up. And she hits hard. She hits hard. Let's say you decide to use your souls, which I didn't even do. You can soul burn and deal so much damage with defense break. When defense break is dropped on the target, it's go time, and then you start to use your souls, which I ran on auto. I didn't use my souls, didn't pop any Guardian for that floor. Like, that's the thing. It's just defense break. Defense break and constant immunity on your team. Okay, let's move on, man. Like, that's long enough. So, Dark Corvus, floor 85. What else was problematic? Autoed. I autoed him with Charlotte as my main damage dealer. You know? Like, actually, did I bring Helga after to speed things up? I might have brought Helga in there. You know, if you're struggling with how much damage he's doing or something, as the battle drags on, maybe he's doing more damage. You know, you could have Kluri with Aurea. She actually provides healing with her passive healing every time she goes to. She cycles pretty fast. So, yeah, you could bring, like, defense break to speed things up. But, you know, like, Charlotte was my main damage dealer. That's crazy. Okay, this battle is annoying. This has a gimmick, right? The boss will, like Shackle, will stun permanently a hero until you kill one of her ally. So what you do here is that you might not want to auto this battle because it might be problematic, but you can definitely auto it because Charlotte is going to be attacking everything, which means there's going to be one of her allies that will go down, making the stun go on someone else. Now, maybe you don't want to run Charlotte. Maybe you want to run Commander Lorena as your damage dealer with like a defense break, maybe a Kluri. And then what you want to do is that you want the Kluri to get stunned. So Wade, keep going in there until Kluri gets stunned because Kluri actually provides something for the team. Because if the hero is stunned but still provides something for the team, that's good. She provides the healing, free healing for the team. And she carries Aureus, so she provides like survivability increase for your team plus free healing for your team. Now, you could be using like a hero like General Purrgis. If he gets stunned and he gets attacked, and if he's in the front, he gets attacked more often, you could be getting free combat units for your whole team, right? And maybe he's run on this artifact so he takes less damage, as an example. So it could be another hero that you could be using in the front. If it's a knight wearing Aureus, not doing too much, not too impactful during the battle, but at least like they're providing something for your team, you know, while they are on the board, but they're stunned, you know, a passive that is triggering. So that's one way to approach it, and just make sure your damage dealer is not the one that gets stunned because that's not going to work. You can pop the Guardian in this battle, but that's the gist of it, right? Like you are basically keeping a hero that's like the worst hero on your team stunned, and your damage dealer is doing their thing. But if you're doing single target damage to the boss, then you're not killing any ally, which will not free up your ally. You know, it's always going to be the same hero that is stunned. Now, I don't remember if this boss actually does the stun again on a rotation. I think you can keep the stun permanent on that one hero the whole battle if you do not kill any of her ally. And you can speed things up by popping the Guardian. So yeah, a few tips for you guys. So that was 83. I have guides, guys. For 83 and under, I have old school guides with a lot of in-depth information. I think I have 84 as well. Where I stopped was Dark Corvus. That was my wall back in the days. I did not try to, you know, push it. You know why? Because I was using free-to-play teams, free-to-play heroes, no limited heroes, I believe. That's it. I was not using limited heroes, and that was my guides. So Dark Corvus was kind of pain in the rear. I didn't have Tamarine too. And I wanted to keep it free-to-play friendly. You know, I saw a lot of players making guides about like using a limited hero and stuff like that, or they had like really crazy gear. So I was like, screw it. I'm kind of bored with the Abyss. You know, that's how it is. If I get bored with something, I just like decide to do something else and decide to make more PvP videos and stuff like that. But yeah, you can go check out my guides. Like if I go through this like really fast round, okay, Charlotte is great here because this boss is like in raid, you know, normal raid, hell raid, Devour Rahakan. It's same deal. These ads, you want to lower their health because they will be healing the hero with the highest, the hero with the lowest health on the team. So if it's the boss, because they come to life with 100% HP, 100% health, the boss will have the lowest health. So if you get them to heal the boss because they attack you, then that's really bad. So with my crappy speed on my team, I was able with Charlotte to just attack them. That's lowering their health, which means like the boss, you know, doesn't get healed. It's actually themselves that's getting healed between them. So there's that. If you have a lot of speed, you can guarantee that you go before them and you deal enough damage. So you can be boosting the damage of your speed of your Charlotte. If you're struggling with that, you could have her on speed main stat boots. That's one way to approach it. Or you can be popping the Guardian to lower the health of those ads. But the thing is, yeah, I mean, it's dealing damage based on the team attack, so it will lower the ads more than the boss, the health threshold. But if you can get like your hero to attack, maybe you save your souls to get extra turn and keep on focusing on one of these ads, so it heal itself. They both are healing that one of ad instead of the boss, because it will be healing the boss for like 5% of the boss's health, which is really bad. It's a lot, right? So you don't want that to happen. They have defense break too, but they're squishy. They're squishy with Charlotte, attack everything, so that's great. So there's that. Like that's the strategy. Where you have to maybe pay attention, cannot run it on auto, is when the boss gets lower health, because maybe you need to do the ad so it's low enough and that one receives the healing. If you pop one ad with single target attack, then the other ad will be healing. But downing one is better than having both heal the boss. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. You could have unhealable on the boss too, I believe. That's it. You put unhealable on the boss. I mean, you can just cheese that. You can just cheese it. Mascot Hazel, maybe. Just build a Mascot Hazel for that. This floor, 81 watches Shuri. It's like I said, you can go check out my guides. I auto this thing. Auto with Charlotte. You know, I wasn't running Charlotte back in the days. This, that's another auto. That was auto, man. 80 auto with Charlotte. 79. It was very easy, that stuff. Like, that, these floors, like 80 and under, was really easy. When it starts to spice up and it gets harder, is over 80. I'm talking like Scorpitra at 83. It starts to get like annoying, right? Like maybe you have to pay attention or pop the Guardian or like you can run on auto, but maybe you want to down the crystal for the floor 83. So you maybe one of your ally, because the thing is Charlotte is attacking everything, right? So one of their ally will go down at one point, and then the boss will permanently stun another one of your hero in the team. So maybe you want to run double damage dealer in case one gets, you know, stunned, so you don't have to like restart the run and take forever for that. So yeah, a few tips here and there. This lots. He's annoying with healing himself, I believe. Oh, he heals the rest of the team. He's got like a bunch of like pets or whatever, like a bunch of other minions that he's basically boosting them and healing them or something like that. I think like you just throw a bunch of damage at him, like Charlotte just pops him. If you have defense break, things will go much faster, of course. And he's just gonna drop like a fly. You bring Helga in there. Of course, bringing Helga in a fire stage, maybe that's where you want to bring like Kluri to speed things up, because she's Earth, but at least, you know, she can take a punch. Helga, even with 13,000 health, she could stay alive in fire stages. It's just landing defense break is gonna be harder because 50% of the time, you know, you're gonna miss your attack unless you have some hit chance. But yeah, man, like even that floor, I believe that was an auto floor, another like auto floor. Like Charlotte is so good. Yeah, very easy. Just auto that Wyvern stage right there. That was auto. That's another auto. What else do we have? Bazaar auto. Like these are like 80 and under. Really, a lot of auto. That's like Golem. Literally like Golem. You can pop the Guardian, speed things up. But yeah, I mean, bring some cleansing. If you have defense break, it will go much faster with Daydream Joker, of course. Maybe like if they're landing a bunch of debuffs, they're pushing back your combat units, dropping silence. You want to have immunity, a good uptime on immunity buff on your team. If you're running two heroes that can cleanse, two Soul Weavers that can cleanse, you know, Fire Akatis, Angelic Montmorency, like, you know, just throw some ideas out there. There's a lot of different combos, man, you can pull off. I mean, just auto. It's like these things were just autoed. I mean, this boss is like, she's like the light spirit altar. It's so easy. But maybe landing defense break is not so easy on this floor. There's like a floor, or some floors, of course, keeping defense break on the target might not be viable. Maybe they're like, they always have immunity, or they will take it off, like they will cleanse it, or it's gonna be hard. So you just grind it out. Daydream Joker, you know, on one hero, two heroes, maybe pop the Guardian if you don't want to fall asleep in there, you know. So there's that. That's auto, man. Just auto. Let's just go down to 60. Trying to remember. He's got some pets or whatever. Like he's got like a whole zoo going on, like helping, and he's like boosting them or something. Some bosses, like if you attack the boss, the other allies will get a bunch of like combat units. That's where Charlotte comes in, because you're attacking everything. So you're putting attack break on a lot of the ads on the boss, which means like they have 50% less attack. So they're dealing so much less damage. And it's helping a lot. Like, it helps so much. Reflect damage on TR guard, right? Reflect damage on the ads, or triple Tarnar roll guard ads or something like that can reflect. I just Charlotte this thing. I just auto it. You know, pop Guardian if you want to speed things up while running on auto, let's say. So yeah, she was fine because she was on lifesteal. on... did I even... You know what? Some floors I didn't even run Daydream Joker, guys. I just let it run on auto because I'm running my my PvP artifact, and I didn't want to change it. I forgot to change it. I started the run already. I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna change it, and it was not free on Equip event. Anyways, it just started now, which I didn't even use for the, you know, for... I just switched the gear that was on my Crimson Armament to my Kluri for doing like the floor like 90 or something, like, or 89 or something like that, to give her more bulk. Like, that's not even the gear she had before when I use her. Arbiter Villager, just throw damage at him, he goes down. Just sustain yourself, make sure you don't get popped, like you have enough survivability. Yeah, easy, man. Like, that's like the Earth Spirit Altar. Like, these floors, they got destroyed. Okay, I think he's got a zoo going on, a bunch of ads, right? Charlotte, land attack break on like almost everything, and she's gonna deal with them. Speed things up with the Guardian, like take them down faster. You should go check out my guides, my individual guides. You know, I go through the mechanics and really go and tell you about how it works. I show you guys the battle, right? Like, you want to see that in depth? There you go. Yeah, let's auto sustain your team, keep your team alive. Now that's the battle. 62, you bring a hero that doesn't have a non-attack skill. Like Lorena. Doesn't have to be Lorena. It could be Alexa. If you're doing Wyvern, turn off her skill. She's going to spam skill 1, right? With Daydream Joker, done. Like, that's it. Or you can be running like double, so Weaver, double Knight, don't have any debuff. If you have debuff on skill 2 or 3, just turn off your skills for that hero. Just run it on auto. Or just run 4 Soul Weavers with no debuff on skill 1. Or if you have a debuff, don't have any effectiveness on the hero, so the chance to land, you know, the debuff is very low. Let's say you have Fire Caides, don't have any effectiveness on her, so she's fire versus ice. The chance to land the you know, attack break is pretty low. So yeah, the different ways to go about it. You can put attack unhealable on says, right? And like, if you have other debuffs and then you have unhealable later on, then he will take 1 debuff off of himself each time he goes or something like that. So the unhealable will stick on him for a while, and he will not be able to heal because he has heal block, unhealable on him. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways to approach this this stuff. Crow, I mean, he's not dangerous like the actual Crow we fight in PvP. You know, he doesn't like penetrate 100% defense with like 20,000 damage to your whole team. It's very easy. You just sustain the damage. Boost your health if you have to on your heroes. Daydream Joker, easy peasy auto, man. Like, all of these ice stage, just Charlotte everything. Just Charlotte everything. I don't know why I'm going down more, but I hope this was helpful. You know, like I said, go check out my individual guides. Hope the information was good. You know, you learned a few things. If you did, smash the like button. It helps me to get the video to be shown to more people, so, you know, they can learn about my channel and get to see my old videos, all the videos that I made. I mean, like, what? We're like probably nearing like 2,000 videos for Epic 7, which is completely insane. You know, game has been running for like 3 years, over 3 years on Korea. I actually started playing on Korea when the game was in Korean, like way back in the days, right? Like over 3 years ago, just testing the game out, getting a feel for it. And when it released globally, man, I went hard. I went hard. A lot of fun. Still a lot of fun, man. Like, yeah, I mean, so many things you can do in this game. A hero, just having one hero is such a big part of it. Like, if I had to close this video with something, is that Charlotte OP. Like, OP means, it stands for overpowered, right? Charlotte is so good because you can bring her almost everywhere in the game. Not only PvP, PvE content, player versus environment, Abyss, you know, like Golem is not a place you really want to farm, but, you know, raid, normal raid, hell raid, labyrinth. You can bring her in the hunts, like even Wyvern. You could bring her probably in Wyvern 13 too. I haven't tested it, but you probably want to stick with ice heroes. So the gear level is not, I mean, she's got attack breakdown skill 1. It probably works, man. Golem, she works. Farming Banshee 13, I mean, not with her, but I did even 12 because my roster was really small. I was missing that 4th Earth hero. I didn't build Kluri yet at that time. But you can check all my progression videos before. Day 1 and 2 was one video. Day 4, day 6, day 7, and then what is that again? Then after that, maybe it was wait until day 14 or something like that. I made another video. Yeah, crazy progression. You know, even as Manic Hunt, you can use Charlotte. You can bring her in Earth Expedition. You can bring her in Dark Expedition. You can bring her in, you know, like beside Ice Expedition, like all the other expedition, basically, you're not gonna get the best of scores, but she works. Like she works. If you want a small roster and you want these heroes to be effective, there you go. Charlotte, amazing. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.